Well, greetings, everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is what they call the hump day, I guess. But anyway, I am so grateful and blessed and highly favored. I was, born in New York, raised in Chicago. And so, I have an affinity and love for music, all genres, as best I can, whatever is aligned with me and what I feel, right? But I wanted to share something. I was hearing a song that was being played while I was in the store, and it was Shalimar, right? Somewhere there's a love just for me. Now I have been called a hopeless romantic, but I think of it as a good thing because, of course, we've all shared our heartbreak and betrayal and things that have happened. Well, greetings, everyone. This is your girl, Belani Lay Patterson. As I was in a store today, was in a store and I heard this song, Shalimar. You guys already know I'm born in New York, raised in Chicago, so I have an affinity for pretty much every genre of music. And, I'm all about the words and frequency and alignment and what resonates with me. I can't say what resonates with you, but, people have called me a hopeless romantic, but I look at it as a positive because at the end of the day, even though we've had all of these things, betrayal, heartbreak, or whatever it is, I still believe and know within my being, within the core, that I will be aligned with my agape union, my sacred union, right? And I just know it, right? 12 years plus. And anyway, I go to ramble, but I heard this song, Shalimar, and it was somewhere there is a love just for me. And I would say that somewhere there is a love just for you. If you're wanting that, you might not want that, but I know for me, because I'm all about agape love and wanting to have that one person. I think people, as much as we try to hide from our traumas, I don't need nobody, da da da. You really want somebody that you can settle down with that gets you. I call it the 80-20 rule. 80% we can get along, we're good. 20% we grow and heal through until the wheels fall off, right? So anyway, greetings everyone. I'm Belani Lay Patterson. I am creative visionary of Women Healing Globally International, and welcome to another episode of Elephant in the Room. Today something happened while I was simply, like I said, in a store, a local store in the community, and I heard an old Shalimar song, Somewhere There Is a Love Just for Me. And it made me think because, of course, I've had a few heartbreaks, I've experienced disappointment, I've experienced betrayal, and I've experienced rejection and abandonment. And yet somehow none of those experiences have convinced me that healthy love isn't available to me and isn't just around the corner. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I trust the Most High that it will meet me where I'm at. If anything, it's taught me more about what love is and what love isn't. It's taught me resilience. It's taught me discernment. And it's taught me that sometimes what initially feels like rejection can eventually reveal itself as protection. Sometimes we don't know what God may be protecting us from. We don't always know another person's motives, intentions, emotional capacity, or the lack thereof, or what they're carrying underneath what they initially show us. That's why I've learned that we have to give relationships time. People need time to reveal themselves because eventually the authentic person begins to emerge. The good, the difficult, the beautiful, the imperfect, the healed places, and sometimes the unhealed places. And that's okay too, because we're still very, very much so human. But the question becomes, when someone shows you who they are, as the great Maya Angelou has always quoted, are you willing to honor what you're seeing? I had to ask myself that on a deeper level, as a deeper question. Why would I fight to remain somewhere or fight to return somewhere where I was so easily discarded in the first place? Let's think about that, right? There's billions of people in the earth. You mean to tell me that the Most High can align me with the one? I think not, and I think so. So I'm trusting that that will manifest in its time. Sometimes being discarded hurts because it touches sometimes older wounds in us. The rejection, the abandonment, the not feeling chosen, the not feeling worthy. And sometimes that wound makes us want to go back and prove, I am worthy. I am lovable. You made a mistake. Choose me. But healing taught me I don't have to chase anyone to convince them of my truest value. And the same goes for you, my friends. And their decision doesn't necessarily tell me everything that was in their heart. But maybe we simply didn't share the same morals. Maybe we didn't share the same values. Maybe we didn't have the same understanding of what commitment looks like and feels like. Maybe we weren't capable of giving one another what the other person needed. And that is okay as well. Because sometimes what feels like rejection, again, in one season looks a whole lot like protection when you finally have enough distance to see what it was clearly. And when I look back now, oh my gosh, when I look back, I'm actually very, 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 very so much so grateful. Like you kind of know when you dodged a bullet, right? Because what if I had spent years trying to build a life with someone who wasn't genuinely happy for me? What if I had stayed with someone who didn't have my best interest at heart? Someone who secretly competed with me or instead of celebrating with me. Someone who tolerated me but didn't truly value me. Someone who was no longer aligned with the person I was becoming. Who wants to spend years living like that? Not at 30, 40, 50, or 60. Not at any age, I would say. And especially as I have become wiser, I don't want to say older, but wiser, I have enough self-worth, self-respect to know I don't have to remain anywhere where I am not honored, I am not respected, and I don't have to remain anywhere where I am not valued, desired, and genuinely loved. Because that's what I intend to give my partner, my person. When I love, I want to give it freely, not as an act or image or performance. Not because I'm trying to manipulate someone into loving me back. I just want simple reciprocity. I want two people choosing each other, not one person constantly auditioning, trying to prove something. Oh, pick me, choose me. No, I'm good on that. Auditioning for another person's love, respect, or value. And here's another elephant in the room, I used to say. For me, I'm, I guess, mediocre, attractive, I don't try to make myself appear to be better or less than anyone. But, I feel confident enough that I can attract someone and align someone with me that going forward in my life. Have I struggled with self-esteem issues? Absolutely. As a woman, there's beautiful people in the world. But I'm not really concerned more about all now as I have gotten wiser about the outside. I'm more concerned about what your heart shows me, what your value shows me, what your integrity shows me, how you act in public and behind closed doors. That is the real test. But as I've grown, I realize there's much more an important question. Am I healed enough to recognize and sustain a healthy relationship when a good man actually arrives? Now, that's different because finding somebody isn't the same thing as being ready for someone. And wanting love isn't necessarily the same thing as being prepared to participate in a healthy dynamic of agape love. So I've been doing the inner work. I've been learning myself. I've been healing. I've been looking at my own patterns. toxic or ones that I keep that make up the character of who I am. I've been becoming more discerning about what love looks like and feels like for me and what it doesn't look like. Because I don't just want somebody. I desire a healthy dynamic at this point in my continued journey in life. I desire agape love. I desire a sacred union. I desire a relationship where two people can meet one another with honesty, reciprocity, respect, vulnerability, integrity, affection, and intention, and emotional maturity. And I believe that that kind of relationship is still available to me. I believe it without a shadow of a doubt. I feel it. I know it. I feel it in my bones. I'm grateful, and in my heart and in my being. I'm grateful for it because before I even know when or how it will arrive, I don't focus on that. I'm not sitting around worrying about the timing. I'm living, I'm growing, I'm creating, and I'm healing, and I'm continuing to become. I'm enjoying the life that is happening right now in the here and now because I don't want my present life to become a waiting room for future relationships. My life is happening now, and so is yours. And there's a scripture that says, the last will be first, and the first will be last. Matthew 20:16. Sometimes we simply don't know how the story is going to unfold. So I don't have to force anything. I don't have to chase anything. And I don't have to convince someone or somebody to recognize what they already had an opportunity to recognize instead. I'm not preparing to chase love. I'm preparing to recognize healthy love. I'm preparing to receive it. I'm prepared to embrace it. I'm prepared to reciprocate it because somewhere there is a love just for me, Belani Lay. And somewhere there is a love for you as well. Until then, continue to do the inner work, build the life, heal what needs healing, learn yourself, love yourself, and become the person capable of recognizing healthy love when it arrives. I know what I believe has been promised for me in my life, and I don't need to know when, and I don't need to know how. I don't need to force the timing. I do know that I'll be ready for it when it shows up. And for that, I'm already very, very so much grateful. This has been another episode of Elephant in the Room. Real conversations, real healing. Till next time, may you continue to be well and continue to prosper. Ahala, Belani Lay.